After a month or so of messing about with my new car to get it to an acceptable YouTube share-worthy standard, it's finally ready to reveal with an on-camera clean, so sit tight for my new 10-year-old dog knob red CRZ. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for these compact sport hybrids, probably because I used to have a Mark II CRX. So after flogging the 370Z, which I'd owned for 2.5 years, bit the bullet on this full history, low mile, fully loaded example and got to work off camera making it look a bit less old lady. Starting with the immediate removal of the hybrid badge on the back, as I can't have people mistaking me for an eco-warrior. So eliminated it and its 10-year-old accompanying adhesive with some hairdryer heat, some chemical gel and plenty of patience, before giving the area a good polish over and subsequent buff to brighten it up and make it look like the badge was never there to begin with. The work then continued with a black vinyl roof wrap to cover some fading pink bits and tie them in with the tinted glass top a bit better, followed by a chunky carbon Mugen replica wing for the retro raked boot lid. Then the 10-year-old leaky shocks were pulled out and replaced with some entry-level Tyne items, which, while only offering ride height adjustment, still feel much better on the street than the exhausted original equipment. Unsurprisingly, the car didn't come with the 18-inch fake Ferrari wheels it's sporting now, and while they aren't my usual style, I think they actually suit the car quite well. And before they were secured in place with some colour-coded open-ended nuts, were thoroughly wiped down off the car with Auto-Bright Direct's potent Prep It product to remove any grease, fingerprints, tyre soap or other unseen contamination, so that they could then be given a quick ceramic coat with some unopened Avalon King Armour Shield 9. And while a dedicated coating like this is arguably a bit unnecessary for wheels that will be kept on top of with regular maintenance washing, which these of course will be, it didn't take a great deal of time to do so, and I had the Auto-Bright wheel stand to hand to make things a bit easier, so thought why not. I then upgraded the factory pea-shooter exhaust and lower back bumper with this centre exit catback and diffuser combo from Remus. Now unfortunately it doesn't make much noise without a secondary decat, so that's something else I'll have to address, but it certainly looks the part and complements the relatively cheap and cheerful Maxton front splitter and side skirt kit which I finished up with, just to accentuate the lower parts of the car and give it a bit more of a ground hugging look. Now, in terms of dirt, the ungaraged car was definitely in need of a good clean, as it had been intentionally neglected for the best part of a month, and I doubt it'd be getting any dirtier than this again on my watch, so despite being the longest and hottest day of the year, was ready to commit to a wet wash and initial spruce up with a handful of black label goods that I could now conveniently display for you on the new carbon wang.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away, as you fade away.
So first things first for the little CRZ here then was a basic wheel clean, as although they'd only been on the car for a week, couldn't completely ignore them. Plus I thought you might appreciate some up close sudsy shots of them being pampered for the first time, so got to work frothing up a dedicated bucket with some Carscope Rotor wheel shampoo that I'd kindly been sent to try out, before thoroughly pre-rinsing them off with the pressure washer in preparation. The fresh anodised nuts were first tickled over with a soft shampoo primed brush, as there's no point installing showy items if you're not going to keep them spick and span. before the rest of the wheel face was tended to with a handy little soft wool wheel mitt, which thanks to the previously applied coating glided over it with ease and will hopefully continue to do so in the future. The backsides, which felt similarly slick, were then easily worked over with a plush wheel Woolie, as there was no easy detailed brush needed for extra bite here. And once they'd been washed, the new tyres were given a quick once over with a soft synthetic Vikan brush, and as there was no real dirt contaminating them yet, the Rotor stuff was well up to the job of prepping them for a subsequent dress. With the wheels out the way, the dusty bird-bombed body of the car also needed pre-washing, so grabbed a complimentary bottle of Turtle Wax's relatively new hybrid solutions Pure Wash, which can conveniently be used as both a shampoo in your bucket or a snow foam in your bottle. So filled and frothed both of my cleaning receptacles with a healthy amount of the product before first pulling the trigger on the bottle to see how it foamed up over the CRZ, which, as you can probably tell from this elevated footage, it did pretty well, and I reckon if you didn't know any better would likely assume it was a dedicated snow foam, which at this stage is probably the best compliment you could pay the product. After being left to soak into the Honda's various decade-old nooks and crannies for a couple of minutes to soften up and gently dislodge the layer of abrasive dirt in the sun, then it was methodically rinsed off with the pressure washer and its accompanying Carscope hardware, and as you can see, it rinsed off just fine and seemed to take the bulk of the loose dirt with it, which is realistically all you can ask for with a snow foam type product. Now, I just went with the one larger bucket equipped with a grit guard and washboard for the initial contact wash here, as the 10-year-old paintwork was pretty swirly to begin with, and what small amount of dirt remained after the pre-wash could be gently dealt with by the very American-sounding slick and slide polymers contained within the Turtle Wax shampoo, which are intended to give additional lubricity to help your wash mitt safely glide over the surface in damage-free fashion. While it didn't have a great deal of cleaning to do here, it was still definitely one of the nicest feeling shampoos I've used in a long while, and reckon it would be a great choice for gently maintaining previously corrected cars where slickness and lubricity is paramount. And if you've watched me for any considerable length of time, you'll know I love products that can kill two detailing birds with one stone. So considering how well it foamed up through the bottle earlier and how nice it felt as a normal shampoo here, got a big thumbs up from me. So each area was rinsed off separately so I could assess how easily the suds dispersed as opposed to letting them dry in the sun and having nothing to rinse off. And opted to just use the hose pipe for this to prevent having to go back and forth turning the Kranzle on and off, because I haven't yet got the luxury of the total stop technology the newer machines come with. But to be honest, a thorough hose rinse at this post-wash stage was perfectly adequate. Before the fresh rinse water dried in the sun then, it was first charged with some of Turtle Wax's graphene-infused flex wax to both enhance and protect the surface. And while it can be used dry for more long-term durability, spritzing it over a freshly washed wet surface like this to keep things topped up in between regular maintenance washes suits me just fine. So gave each panel of the car a few sprays with it before using a big twist loop towel from Auto Bright Direct to quickly remove the bulk of the now wax-infused standing rinse water. Because of its ingredients, this product will generally need a second wipe down to achieve a proper smear-free finish, especially when working on darker colours or in the direct sun. So after essentially spreading the product with the first towel, took a second more traditional one which had been wet through and wrung out so it was just slightly damp, and reworked all areas of the car over with it to leave a super slick smear-free finish. And while other wet applied products might not require this extra step, don't think you'll be able to argue with the results achieved by doing so here once you see them. The door shuts, which were thankfully pretty clean when I got the car, were then given a quick once over with a damp general purpose towel to soak up any trapped water that could secretly seep out onto the freshly cleaned body and potentially cause stubborn or unsightly streaks. So it's always worth at least giving them a quick wipe over after a wash, even if you don't properly clean them first. Although they didn't really need it at this early stage in their life, the new wheels were then treated to some of Avalon King's SiO2 boost spray, which is designed to keep the dedicated coating in check. So after priming, a fresh general purpose towel with some gently worked it over the faces of the wheels here before flipping the towel and buffing the treated areas a bit to remove any light residue and leave an even more slick and protected surface that should stay looking cleaner for longer by preventing brake dust and dirt from sticking to the surface. It was then time to finish the reveal clean with a decent dress of the new Yoko tyres using a couple of different products I know work well, starting with Carscope's ceramic infused ink stuff, which was dabbed and then spread over the first tyre wall with Carscope's own densely packed soft bristle brush, which works really well at evenly applying the dressing without too much back and forth, before letting it soak in for a moment, then buffing off with a dry towel to remove any excess, knock back the shine to a more natural sheen and reduce the chance of sling. Once two of the tyres had been inked both on camera and off, I tended to the remaining two with some Turtle Wax graphene acrylic tyre coating, which was applied with a more traditional flat dressing brush instead. Now this is more of a self-leveling product that doesn't technically require buffing after application, but for the same reasons as before still gave the product a bit of a buff over after it had had time to sit on and soak into the surface. And after a quick wipe over of the edges of the exposed rims with a damp towel to remove any excess product I might have cack-handedly cross-contaminated them with, called it a long hot summer's day at that. So nothing too in-depth detail-wise for the new CRZ here then, but a decent enough introduction to the little 10-year-old sun-scorched motor nonetheless. Now, I did initially wonder what I'd gone and done, as I've never really been a fan of red cars or hybrids, but this Honda Milano shade surrounded by the new anti-eco mods is definitely starting to win me over, especially now that it's free from all that unsightly sand and bird poo splatter. So let me know what you think of the car. Obviously it's no Nismo, but it's still Jap and I'm happy with it for now, so we'll be working on getting more cleaning content uploaded with it soon, including an interior video revealing whether or not it'll accommodate all my cleaning gear, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, keep your eye on my Instagram, where I'll no doubt be spamming plenty of pictures of it.
And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long.